everybody. Welcome to day 4. So this is a little different. I could have done this for day 24 for a double page layout, but I wanted to do something different with the grid layout. So what I'm doing for a grid layout is really a two-page layout with a bunch of pictures. So this is from our trip to the Dice Tower East board game convention. This is going to come together super quick, so I thought I would just do this as a live instead of doing this as a voiceover. I thought this might be a good one just to do live, but basically it's just going to be a grid of photos. Then I'm going to use some of this really cool paper from Family Fun Night from Photoplay. I'm going to use that on the edges and some of the cut aparts. I've already written my top 10 games, and that's what we're going to do. So just hang with me. We're going to see this come together. Like I said, different take on grid, more of a grid of photos than anything else, and I think that you will like this. So, first thing we have to do is, quite frankly, is glue these pictures down and make sure they're even, and that's going to be the basis of our grid. So sometimes it's okay to have photo heavy layouts, and this is going to be one of those that is photo heavy for us. Um, I typically don't do a lot of photo heavy layouts like this anymore just because I like all of the artsy art stuff of the scrapbooking pages. But for this particular event, I have so many photos and it didn't make sense to have all of these in different pages. Instead, I'm just going to do this. Now, I do have a photo of John and I, just the two of us at the board game convention. And for that, I'm going to do a one pager and tell the story of going. But for this particular So now look, this is what's going to bother me. There's a little bit of white on the bottom. We're probably going to, and you guys can't see that because of all that. Well, you can, but we're going to figure that out. Okay. So the same thing over here. Now, this was printed when my printer stopped working. So I had to print at Walgreens. So they are shiny, glossy photos. And y'all know I dislike glossy photos. I prefer matte. So that's the other thing is I just kind of want to get through these photos that I printed and use them because they make me crazy. So why? Why don't I like glossy photos? So the number one reason I don't like glossy photos is the shine that you're getting right now. Also, they hold fingerprints. And I just, from a long-term perspective, I think the matte holds up better. That is a Jessica perspective only, so feel free to take that with a grain of salt. Okay, so basically, I've created the same grid across two pages. Now I'm going to cut 3x4 cards to go there and then squares to go on top to kind of finish that grid. So let's get the, so I'm going to use these two 3x4 cards, one of which has our list of top 10. The other one says, nobody ever reads the rules for a board game unless a fight breaks out, which is really true. Go ahead and put the 2-inch strip on the sides of both of those. So this is the basic grid layouts. Now we got to decide what else we want to put on here. Um, so I have our favorite. So I'm going to see if our favorite is on here. This was actually our favorite, which was playing Star Trek with people, which we already owned that game. So it wasn't our favorite new game, but it was definitely. And then it says board games because adulting is hard. I think I'm going to put that. Maybe I'll put that. Oh, I just don't want to cover up people. I don't know where to put that. I would love to. Oh, maybe I'll put it right here. This lady's face is already basically covered up anyway, so it doesn't matter. And I think this is going to be too big to fit anywhere, so I'll put that back. And this is going to say making great memories and having fun. And let's check on. So the one thing I do want to do is put Dice Tower East somewhere. So I'm not sure where I can do that. But this is a basic grid layout. See, it's a grid of photos. So that's how I did my grid layout. Trying to figure out what else I can want to do on this. Let's pull out the sticker sheet and see if there's anything in the sticker sheet that we love. Sorry, had a phone call. I'm going to put these back in there. Now, a lot of this is family fun night, which doesn't apply to what we did. But if you do have a family that plays a lot of games, this collection is great. So let's look. There's fun. There's game night. Will you be my player too? You're on a roll. Currently playing. I think I'm going to do sorry, not sorry. No, I don't want that. That's not good. This also has birthday, sleepover party. I will do your honor down here. I do want I do have a couple of like dice on here. Fun times, chess pieces. There's so many things on here and it's almost more than I can take. I'm going to go to my handy dandy Doodlebug title letters and look for a blue right here and do Dice Tower East. Riveting video of me putting on letters. This is a good reminder that not all pages have to be multimedia, not all pages have to be tons of stuff. Sometimes you want to get your pictures in your album so that you can remember what you did. And this was a super fun thing that we did, and I loved every second of it, but I don't necessarily need 100 pages in my album for it. And this is a lot easier way to do it. 2025. Okay. I really am going to call that done. I actually kind of dig it. Super fun. Some themed paper, some themed embellishment tags on the pictures. I'll give you a close up after this, but thanks for watching. Different take on a grid. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks, everybody. Okay, so here's the close up. A couple of things I added were ribbon on the side of the 2-inch papers to kind of differentiate the 2-inch from the photos. And I added 3 metal flare across to kind of make that white go away. Other than that, this is the layout for September 4th grid. Hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you tomorrow on the 5th. Bye, everyone.